Hi, I'm Paul Partridge with Rematch Crosstown Realty and the Aranto Real Estate team. And today I want to talk about something that a lot of people are missing out on right now. Everywhere you look, their headlines are negative. Home sales are down. Prices are softening. Buyers are waiting. Interest rates are higher. But here's the truth. Some of the best real estate opportunities are created in markets exactly like this one. And today, I want to break down why this market is creating real estate opportunities for three groups of people. The first group are prepared buyers. Next is downsizers with equity. And lastly is strategic long-term investors. Before I continue, I invite you to support the channel by clicking like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future updates on the Barrie and Simcoe County market. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about prepared buyers. This is the most buyer-friendly market we have seen in years. Think about what the market looked like in 2021 and early 2022. Homes were getting 10, 15, and sometimes 20 offers. Buyers were waiving inspections, waiving financing, making emotional decisions just to compete. Today, the power balance has shifted dramatically. Buyers now have more inventory to choose from, more negotiating power, more time to think about their decisions, and more ability to include conditions that protect them. That is huge. I'm seeing buyers negotiate price reductions, flexible closing dates, inspection conditions, financing conditions, and in some case, even repairs or credits on the deals that they've already negotiated. That was nearly impossible during the market frenzy back a few years ago. Now, yes, interest rates are higher than they were a few years ago, but many buyers are realizing something important. You can refinance a mortgage later on down the road. You can't go back in time and buy at a lower price with less competition. Prepared buyers who understand their numbers and buy smart in this market will likely be looking back in 5 years from now and realizing this was one of the best windows of opportunity that you had. Now let's talk about downsizers with equity. This group may be actually in one of the strongest positions in today's market. Why? Well, probably because many downsizers bought their homes years or even decades ago, which means they're sitting on substantial equity. And in a softer market, downsizers often benefit from something called relative value. Let me explain that. Yes, your current home may not sell for the absolute peak that it would have back in 2022. But the home you're buying next likely softened too. And in many cases, condos have softened a lot. Smaller homes have also softened. Adult lifestyle communities, they have definitely softened. So downsizers are saving money on both sides of the transaction. Plus, the market gives downsizers more time to make careful decisions instead of feeling rushed into panic buying. They can compare options, negotiate better, add conditions, and structure moves that reduce their stress. And honestly, for many people approaching retirement, simplifying life matters more than timing the absolute top of the market. Reducing maintenance, unlocking equity, lowering monthly expenses, and improving lifestyle. Those are long-term wins. Now let's talk about strategic investors. And I'm not talking about speculative investors chasing fast appreciation or a quick buck. Those days are mostly gone, at least for now. I'm talking about disciplined investors who focus on long-term fundamentals because despite all the negative headlines, Ontario still has some very powerful fundamentals supporting housing over the long term. We still have population growth, immigration, limited housing supply, rental demand, and infrastructure expansions throughout many communities, a lot here in Barrie. Places like Barrie and Simcoe County continue to attract people looking for more affordable alternatives to larger cities like the GTA. And strategic investors understand something important. Real estate wealth is often built during uncertain markets, not euphoric ones. The best investors usually buy when competition is lower, fear is higher, and negotiating power improves. Not when everybody is chasing the market emotionally. Right now, investors are finding motivated sellers, better price negotiations, and properties sitting longer on the market. And that creates opportunities to buy with logic instead of emotion. And over the long term, fundamentals usually matter far more than short-term headlines. Now, does that mean that every property is a good investment? Well, absolutely not. The market requires strategy. It requires patience and careful analysis and realistic expectations. But for people who are financially prepared and thinking long-term, there are real opportunities emerging right now that simply didn't exist a few years ago. And at the end of the day, the people who often benefit most are the ones who stay informed, remain patient, and focus on long-term goals instead of short-term fear. And whether you're a buyer or a downsizer or an investor, this market may actually offer more opportunities than the headlines would have you believe. Now, again, I'm Partridge with Remax Crosstown Realty and the Realtor Real Estate Team. And if you're thinking about making a move in Barrie or Simcoe County or surrounding areas and want honest advice about your option in today's market, feel free to reach out to me at partridgeproperties.ca and let me look at your situation and help you maybe see what might be possible. I'm going to work to understand your goals. And when I do that, I'll be able to give you some free insight. I'm going to save you a ton of time, and I could save you a lot of money. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with someone who's trying to make sense out of today's market and understand what's real and what's not real. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.